All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Chihayafuru, Season 2, Episode 17. 17, not 16. Yeah, 16's recap.
Yeah, so yep, 16 was a recap episode.
Yep.
So we watched the new stuff in it, skipped everything else, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Cool.
There were some fun bits.
Yeah, we've got our dorky, quirky, very kind of creepy other team that we're going to be dealing with here. Fujisaki.
And the best way to think of them as if all of them were pseudos.
Yes.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yes.
Just a bit.
Horrifying. And yet, one of them was swapped out.
Right, because the roster was that
A
stacked.
pseudo was not good enough. So we brought in the granddaughter of the woman who just happens to be the surprise guest reader. And she's like one of the best readers there is.
Yep.
And also, it was supposed to be some surprise that she's going to be here. Very massive coinkadink.
Yeah.
Makes me think.
Yeah.
A little bit of collusion, methinks.
I get the feeling Mizusawa is in trouble here. If they win this, I will be shocked.
I will be shocked too.
Yeah.
There is something about the way that Chihayafuru as a show makes our main sports team basically feel like absolute underdogs in almost every single match that they go into, especially once they get into these tournaments and they end up in the like, oh wow, we're actually here. It's like, okay, we're just watching the clock being like, when are they out? You know?
Right.
They're gonna get knocked out here. This could be it.
I think this is gonna be it.
Yeah. But even so, there could be so much that they level up here in terms of playing against really strong players that all have a team
an opportunity
strategy as well, with the way that they leverage their time and practicing space and everything.
And Chihaya, this might be a way to get, a bit of practice with the whole idea of, people having one-syllable cards that are not actually one syllable because maybe they know the reader that well.
Yeah.
So, learn this because you're going to need it.
Yeah. Set up for maybe later stuff with our legend who's
exactly
got his way of studying the readers.
Besides, Shinobu's here, so, bring your A game, girl.
That's true. Shinobu is watching because
she doesn't want to be, but Arata, would love to be here, right? But he's not.
But he's not. So she's kind of being here for him. No, she's totally being here just for herself.
I mean, but she also doesn't want to be here or anything.
No, of course not. So y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this.
Music
Dun, dun, dun.
striking a chord deep in your heart.
Bum, bum.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Y'all get destroyed.
Oh my god.
You're not just getting beaten, you're getting styled on.
読書はあなたのおばあ様の山城京子7段。今日は存分にやれるでしょう。5枚も取れば与えられるはず。水沢に。全敗の予感を。
Yeah. The psychological destruction that's happening here.
Like, they're not just gonna beat you, they're gonna dance on you.
Well, I think it's gonna be just cold.
Yeah?
Methodical and clean. Like, mercy killing. Just
shh.
Yep, just we're moving forward. You guys did good getting here.
Just a soft pillow over the face in the night.
Yeah.
今日は団体戦の日や。
なんでやあらた。つまらん試合になりそう。
Yeah. Probably does.
Oh. Yeah, that way he can go as straight for the card as possible.
But that can be a little bit harder to visualize. So your memory has to be perfect.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah.
錦丸でも囲いで。早く出て、早く止まって。
Oh.
Okay.
Like he wasn't entirely sure, but he...
桜沢先生。
私も6歳から競技カルタをしてたけど、頑張れば頑張るほど膝と腰を痛めてしまって。
Oh.
だからみんなには
Okay.
体を壊すことなく。
Right. So they've been like working out underneath her
そのため
instruction.
にはまず体力。
Yeah.
Okay.
練習前、練習後には30分。
30 minutes of raw stretching.
筋トレ3セット。試合形式の練習に常時加えます。
Wow.
体力。
というだけで
I feel ya.
別にエロワードじゃないのに
Right, there isn't. Yeah.
部員は
Not with that attitude.
藤崎といえば
カルタ部また全国大会だって。すごいね。
校内にはいない
Damn.
1年では暗記の仕方、2年では配列の組み方。
And so it's her leadership that's taken them
一つ一
there.
つ自分のものにしていきなさい。
And yes, she's worried about their school being weaker in a couple of years.
Right.
桜沢先生が積み上げてくれたもの藤崎カルタ部の誇り
So yeah, you might be just seeing our results now, but you don't realize the work that we've put in to make this.
Right. We're the 5 or 6 people that
She
have...
has one card. I saw a card
Oh,
on her side.
Okay. Wow.
なんで決勝のスタメンがリオンなんだいっぱいいるのにリオンの音への感応そんなものがなくたって勝てるの
Yeah. Yeah, they're all aware of why she's out here.
他の虹決まりも一時目で取られてる。
They're reminding you of someone.
でも判断が早すぎる。何が聞こえてるの？何が？あの水沢の感じのいいこと当たれるなんて、リオンも最初から飛ばしてる。
Right. There is a chance that she loses if she doesn't hold, like if she does hold back a little bit. But it's probably very straining mentally to remember all the cues that would be given.
Right. To be listening that intently.
読手は山城七段か。
カラフだ
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, she's enchanted.
I'd love to know what Shinobu's perspective is on readers that are this good, you know? Another dead card. Wow.
No way. Can you, like, tell that your card's coming?
私の大好きな読手の山城さんは
Whoa.
ちはやふるだけが真っ赤に見える。私もイメージの強い
Whoa.
読みにも色が色を聞いてる。山城さんの読みは他では負けんと思えても、山城さんが読手の試合では周防さんは厄介、だいぶ厄介や。
Wow.
この子が B 級
Oh.
私のカルタ会で練習してきて
Oh.
身内の欲目を横に置いてもこの子は天才だと大きな期待を寄せていた。途中で投げやりになるの？この前の大会でももっと最後まで一生懸命やらなきゃ。
読みが綺麗じゃなかった。やりにくかった。
Oh.
Yeah.
カルタにも絶対音感のようなものがあるのならリオンはそれだ。いろんな個性の読手が普段
Right. Harsher, more terse, like less resonant ways of speaking.
不意にもなれない。
Wow.
でも感謝しなさいリオン。チームがあなたに優勝メンバーになるチャンスを与えてくれ。
Yeah. So this is also the coach being kind.
Sure.
もう6枚さ。落ち着け。
Kana's
Yeah.
just listening intently.
ちはやちゃん、もっと歌を聴いて。もっと歌を。
Whoa, right, because if you understand the poetry of things, you can understand the emotion with which the words are being said. Because you would choose certain emotions to enunciate certain narratives within the poems in themselves, right?
エアコンの音。
She's entering the matrix. She's beginning
All right,
to
see the
believe.
code.
夏。嵐。友。黒。会いたい気持ち。
Whoa!
right, you got one. Let's keep doing it.
Okay.
何しなにわが夏がまだあるのに
Right.
1時目で囲って2時目でなにわへを抑えた
冬枯れた足のくすんだ緑、もっと若い足の緑。
音と色と
That's
つながる
two.
歌が私にはたくさんない。危
All
なく
right.
て
2 to 7. Let's go.
でも流れはこうやって
We're only 20% through the match. We got a lot to go.
Yep.
Oh!
Oh
Whoa!
shit!
Chihaya! Wow!
Took it from her side. Oh, not quite.
千早
She get hurt?
Maybe.
千早まさか
She break a nail?
君大丈夫か
大丈夫です。
What?
で
What?
した。
ならええけど
Oh, Rion was like worried.
大山札は経験とテクニックだ漢字だよりだから取り方が
Oh, so she was genuinely
Okay.
like worried she hurt her.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
一枚ずつ。
Yep. Just stay calm.
Or wait. What's that?
しまった
No! Daichi!
エムロ両側お手つきしないよ
Jeez.
5試合目でも余裕の顔
Yeah, you two are the ones that are
君と違
need
っ
to
て
stay
永久だから
stay
Damn.
calm. Yeah, yeah.
誰一人波に乗れない千早まで
It's okay.
今のは取れた。
Reset everybody. Reset everybody.
Just take a deep breath.
なんだろう。これ。この痛
It
み。
does hurt.
ただの突き指じゃない。
Wait, wait, wait. You did get hurt. You should bring something up.
よーし。こっからこっから。
私でよかった。
Okay.
どうしてもエースの千早ちゃんじゃなくて。
Yeah.
Doesn't want them to lose heart. Yeah.
ダメだ。かなちゃんがくれた風を止めたらダメだ。
Oh no.
若宮さん来てくれてたんですかそんなとこ立ってないでもっと前へどうぞ
いえいえそんなメス。
見てくれたらみんな頑張りますよ
She's like dead.
Between the two coaches.
励まされる子きっといるでクイーンが見てくれたらみんな頑張りますよ
Mendukse.
見たことある？気のせいか。しよう。戦う相手と思っとる人間は。
Wow.
Damn.
Wow, it's an empty room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she is hurting.
Yep.
もっと鋭い反応だった。前半は怪我。
Chihaya, come on.
よかった。抑えてで取れた。
It was an obvious card of hers. Oh, but she's now worried about you.
Yeah, now she feels bad and...
She doesn't want to hurt her.
感じのいい
Oh.
人は得意なはずなのに。
Wait.
Or maybe is she, like, letting her get back ahead because she feels
Yeah.
like the...
に越したことない。でもチャンスでも
Oh.
させた方が
Oh.
Sure.
Wow.
Okay.
何してる？ここで勝つためだけに。私は。
山城さんって CD の時しかやる気出さないよ。
不満あんのバレバレだよ。
生意気だって私たちまで睨まれるんだ。
Okay.
人がない。
Yeah, because if she's picky about her investment, then
Right.
she's not really a that's kind of anti-athlete like mindset, you know, like team mindset.
たった1枚しかない攻めるにしても無謀すぎる捨てたんか
今痛いのは右手人差し指。
And so she'll put it on a
私
side
がずっ
that...
と練習してきたのは
Yeah.
右手中指で札の縁を弾く練習。
Cool.
Right, that is her longest finger too.
Right, and so by passing it, she'll naturally put it in a place that's easiest to defend, which makes it
Yeah.
so she won't have to use that finger to get it. I like it.
Oh.
もっと集中しろ。
I don't. Will Chihaya be able to play the tournament tomorrow at this rate?
I don't know.
耳しか持たない選手になるんだ。
こんな速さが
Okay.
クイーン以外にこんな速い子が
Shinobu saw that.
去年私の左下段の一時決まり抜いた。確か。千早。
Okay, she actually remembered.
Yep, switched hand. Yeah. Yeah, she knows now that.
音の端っこを捕まえる勝負。集中しないと。置いてくよ。なおカッパの子、どんだけ甘いねん。自陣右下段に置くなんちゅうんが間違いや。ちょっとくらいずらさんとあかん。私やったらそんな甘いことせん。私やったら。
Ah,
綾瀬が練習した4練習
she's leaning in.
まだ6マスあるけど
Still down 6 cards. Okay.
隠したってわかる隣の席の俺には
But you also have to focus on your own game. So
俺はいつ頑張るんだよ今だろ失礼します
Yeah.
oh wow, all at the same time.
Perfect.
熱を
Aha.
熱をくれるのはいつも
But not today. We'll carry that torch.
この感じ湧いてくる
Yeah, I'm hungry. I want this.
That's right. This game is The Boys and
こ
Chihaya.
の熱が5人分の諦めないだ
You're just flipping off your opponent by just extending only your middle finger out. And they're just looking at you like,
Really?
really, man? Like, okay, sure. It's like, no, this is my longest finger. It's the way this works.
It is funny how injuries can happen like that, though. Where, like, when it happens, you're like, ooh, oh, wait, no, I feel fine. And that's just sort of like the adrenaline and
Right.
everything. And then later you're like,
Ow, ow, ow,
Yeah.
ow. Yeah. Finger injuries are like the worst sports injury because you can keep playing in them with them usually, but it's almost always a mistake. Like,
right. Yeah, it's not something like a toe where it's like, well, this sucks, but I guess I
yeah.
have to stop, you know?
Right. But with a finger, you can tape it up. If your
Yeah.
sport doesn't require that finger to be like doing too much
Like
stuff,
fine motor control,
you can
yeah.
you can tape it to another finger.
Right.
Yeah.
Chihaya.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
I get
We're
it.
doing it.
I get it, but like,
Uh-huh.
man, she is going to have consequences from continuing to play
Yes.
her heart out
Right.
with this injury.
But she's doing it. She's
Yep.
catching back up. I do struggle to follow how she did all that and still is behind 6 cards.
I guess she was still getting her ass kicked for a while. It took her a bit to, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I guess that is the case. Yeah.
But
wow, incredible like comeback in a lot of ways.
Yep.
'Cause this was so one-sided that now everyone else on the rest of the team is just fired up and ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is something where you're still down 6 cards. Great. You took 4 in a row. Fantastic. But the fact that, you know, after taking a bunch of cards, you're still down 6, that means there is much less time left in your game. So, like,
Yeah.
it'll probably get a lot harder to catch up on top of the whole injury thing. But hopefully your opponent is still, you know, a bit unnerved by the fact that they ended up hurting you. So
Yeah, we're already a third of the way through the game, basically. So
right.
bit
Yeah.
scary. Not much left for everybody else then, too, who are probably down by a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
So, that being said, Rion, we got to know her a little
Yeah.
bit. And she was somebody that, you know, started playing at a young age, joined her grandma's Karuta Society.
And they're like, oh, she's a genius.
With in a lot of ways, no real specific goal of being like she was so young that it was probably just something that her parents kind of just put her in.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun, and she'll get to, you know, spend some time with grandma a bit, and you know,
But she was making such a she was making such a big decision at such a young age in that regard that this is not really even really her decision. Like she was just doing this probably because she tried it at one point and was really good at it.
Right, and then she gets all the positive reinforcement. Then feels a bit different when she goes somewhere else where her grandma's not the one reading it, and suddenly it's just like, oh, I don't know if I really like this as much. I'm not as good at it, XYZ.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think she cares about that.
Yeah.
I think this is entirely someone who was brought into the society at such a young age. It's not her decision then. Mm-hmm. She's doing this because she was brought here, basically.
Sure.
She was 6 years old.
Right. Yeah.
She doesn't go into this thinking like, I'm going to be the best Karta player in the world.
At most, if it's, her decision, it's Karta's fun. Yeah, I'll go play Karta.
Well, what keeps her playing isn't even the fun of the game, it seems like. It seems like it's just the joy of getting to listen to the reading being done so beautifully.
Yep.
And if she does it and gets this kind of ingrained view of it through her grandmother's beautiful reading, then in a lot of ways, she's not actually super passionate even about winning.
Sure.
Like, in a lot of ways, her being in Class B is probably just because her output is high enough that,
right,
it doesn't matter. She gets put up into that class.
Right.
But according to this, she's never won a tournament ever.
The fact that she had that really good positive experience early on is probably the reason why she's this good, because that just helped reinforce putting in the time. But as far as the actual interest and passion behind it, not really. And that even more so makes it understandable why the rest of Fujisaki is like, come on, coach. Like
her?
Yeah. We have 50 people on our team.
Right. There's at least half a dozen people that probably deserve the spot more than her.
There's probably several people that are in Class A that are just like,
okay, I
guess I'll die then.
I guess I'm fucking chopped liver,
Yep.
So I like that this is something that the coach is doing because she has put in the work on her end to develop a team and a culture surrounding this team.
Yep.
Where everybody works hard. Mm-hmm. But Rion, while she is someone that probably has done a lot of the work to be in Fujisaki, she is someone, though, that would need, in a lot of ways, this kind of intense tournament experience and also maybe even a win to push her to want to grow and evolve.
Right.
And what so the coach is doing is giving her the easiest environment to do that in by having it be the time when her grandmother gets to read for them.
And then, because I get the feeling, I can't remember, but she's not a third year, right? And so then
she's a first year,
right? And so then in future years where it's like, oh, okay, we don't have our current roster of third years anymore. Awesome, she can be another staple of the team that can hopefully keep the Fujisaki reputation going. But
yeah, so what I like about this is that Rion's confidence is low.
Yes.
And we see this in multiple ways. One, the idea that she doesn't seem to want to finish matches if the reading is just no longer interesting.
Right.
She doesn't seem to have a lot of backbone with regards to the fact that she might have injured Chihaya, and it's super rattling her emotionally.
Yep.
Because in a tournament environment she's not super necessarily comfortable in, she then just took out potentially the star player of the other team through a fault of her own, basically.
Right.
And that's I'm always like listening to the voice so much that I don't actually think about what my body's doing.
And I am less experienced than the other people here and stuff. And so, yeah.
My form is not perfect and everything.
Yep.
I like that we can see examples of someone whose hearing is so good because of them practicing that, but also specifically reading the cards almost with the reader. And I really like this detail of hearing color instead of seeing it. The idea that when someone speaks, there's nonverbal communication in addition to the words that they're saying.
Right.
There's tone, but also there's emotion that comes into the tone.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, people equate those two things. You know?
Right, because and this is probably why people don't study readers as much in general because the readers have a very specific structure of how they say things and all of that stuff. And
Well, there's a specific speed,
yeah.
but
And-
they could speak with different tones and emotions.
Well, right. But that's something that maybe it's harder to quantify, right? And so then you listen to it enough and you'll be able to pick up on those little differences because they're going to have attachment to the card and things like that. But, maybe most people when they're listening, yes, another beautiful voice, right? And that's about it, right?
Yeah, so that's the part where I actually want to get into and talk about is that it's so different though, in fact, that it's actually worth studying because these people are going to be stuck in their specific ways of doing things, meaning that you can guarantee that this reader will always do it this way,
Right.
because it's a repetition ad nauseum thing that requires all this structure in these other ways. They're going to develop their own structure in the pitch and the tone and the emotion.
Sure.
And that's something that's so cool because we can see that from just a joy perspective for someone like Kana or someone like Rion, we can see them actually following along with it by just having listened to it enough. So you could read someone's emotion before they even end up actually, making any serious sound with just the breath, maybe.
And I'm curious if that's something where, because, like in this case, she doesn't, like, when she reads for a match, it's a very important match, right? So the final, matches of the tournament, right? Or, queen match or something like that, right?
Sure.
So in a lot of ways, if the players don't have the ambition to actually visualize and see themselves in those important matches, they might not see there as being the same level of importance in studying the readers because, my readers are always changing. Yeah, my readers aren't quite as good. And so there isn't that level of consistency where you can really learn their habits and things like that. And then, you're not able to take advantage of the opportunity presented to you when you have a star-studded reader like this.
Maybe. But I think that this is something where you could have a lot of variance still in your readers because you would never want to just study a reader specifically.
Oh, for sure.
But you could have a thing where you take the aggregate of the, less than 10 readers probably that are actually the ones that you would generally engage with depending on your skill level or your class level.
And especially in the matches where you're going to be so neck and neck with the other team because things are this competitive by that point that it really does get to those tiny little differences where maybe before then it's not going to have as big of an effect. Generally, the team that wins is going to be, that 5% better. Or whatever.
Yeah, but I think the points that you're trying to make is something that has to do with the the skill ability of the players with regards to maximizing the reward of actually being able to do this. So I'm getting at the idea that if you're wanting to be good at this game, you would by definition end up having to study the readers because unless Karuta becomes insanely popular, you just don't have any more readers coming in and you would end up spending a decade with maybe I don't know, half a dozen readers that you generally end up listening for.
And it feels similar in a way to how if you're really into watching a particular sport, you're going to get to know the players and the coaches and things like that. But you're also going to get to know the commentators a bit because you're like, oh yeah, I've listened to this person a fair bit. I know how they generally their energy or vibe or whatever.
Sure, I would equate it more to the refs basically.
Okay.
There's an example of where when you are an athlete. Or the rules themselves, actually. When you are an athlete at a professional level, one of the things that gets brought up, basically, is that you will hone your body and your mind to the point that you are, constantly breaking your limits with regards to these things via training and repetition and practice and what have you.
Sure.
But inevitably, you are playing a game with rules and a game with boundaries within those rules. what is often not talked about, but is often explored in the athlete space eventually, is the way that you abuse the limits within the game that are fuzzy, that are basically going to allow you a competitive edge. Ways that are not cheating, but are technically legal within what is within the game's bounds here. I would say after a certain point, pretty much every athlete at that point starts doing that. And so, yes, maybe it's less valuable for some of the players at a certain point. But because Karta's so small, I would say every single Class A player, by definition, should be studying readers at that point.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Every single Class A, and maybe
100%
even
agree
some
that they
Class
absolutely
B.
should be. Yeah.
Well, right, because it's the equivalent of studying the rules.
Yep.
Like the thing of
Yeah.
where there was that one girl, and I still haven't gotten over it, the way that she
would
basically
constantly
bullied
contest
and contesting cards when there's no actual referee rule for how that would work.
Right.
That breaks, in my opinion, the spirit of the game. It's
Yes.
bad form, and it's bad for the nature of the sport.
And that probably goes to showcase how relatively small competitive Karta is as a thing, that an obvious potential issue or, oversight or flaw or blind spot of the system isn't addressed or dealt
Right.
with. It's just there. It's part of the deal.
And I would say studying readers is an even fuzzier version of that. But why, in my opinion, is it only like a problem when it's this is a family member now? But
Right.
that's the same thing that Suo's been doing probably, but just times 10.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's where there's that part of me that would really love to know, with, if anybody's watching that's in the competitive karate scene, how much of the things that are being brought up in this series are things that are being brought in at a pace that will be easy to digest for the audience as we learn this game, right? And so something like studying the readers is much more advanced that you wouldn't necessarily need to learn in order to be able to track with what's going on. But maybe players start doing it way earlier and way more often than as is portrayed in the story, because, yeah.
Yeah, I cool. Yeah, we could find that out. I think that having just the knowledge that it's something that you must do if you're going to succeed in this world of karate is the point that they're making here. That anybody who wants to get to the top end of karate is basically going to be gatekept by the gods like Suo and stuff.
No, exactly. But and if this isn't something that like feels like new information to you, let me know. But this feels to me like it's yes, that's what everybody should be doing, but people aren't doing that. When Suo says something like, I have 28 one-syllable cards and all that, people are like, what the hell is he doing? How is he able to do this? This is so wild, right? And as opposed to so clearly he's just that good at understanding readers, right? Like, how much of it is are you saying new
that
meta that's emerging versus
I think I'm following.
It's established and we all know this.
Are you saying that the world building is being held back intentionally because the characters in the story don't know about studying readers? Like So is actually doing something secret here?
It feels.
I feel like it's kind of obvious to all the masters and the pros and stuff what's going on here.
Maybe
it's just something that we're following people that are Class B and below, basically, for the most part. Other than obviously,
So I would consider Class A in general to be the pros, even if they're not actually like making money off of it, because it's Karta's a small thing, all that stuff, right? And what we've seen of the people in Class A, we haven't seen people talking about it as, we study readers, right? Like that very much has been shown to not be the case for Class A people by and large.
Okay.
Right? And so that's one of the things where I'm curious if this is an emerging meta versus this is just the way that we communicate at a good pace to the audience.
Yes, so the world building has been intentionally held back. That's what you're saying, is that the world building of something that could be something that's already been the case has been intentionally held back because they don't want to dump too much on the viewer early, versus it being a new thing that So is introducing to the world of karate.
But that's what I'm saying. I have no way of knowing which of those two it is.
But that's what I'm saying. You're talking about those two things, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I think it's very clear personally that it has already been a thing for a while. Suo has been a god at Karuta for a very long time.
Yeah.
Anybody who is, remotely aware of what he's doing are people that are good at Karuta.
Right.
So whether
people
they
that
can do it or not is irrelevant. It's that this is what you should do if you want to beat Suo.
Right. The people that are in the top 50% or 20% or whatever of Class A that would be gunning for, the king position or the queen position would be studying the hell out of the king and queen and learning as much as they can about how they play so that they can learn how to eventually beat them. And it would be only natural that part and parcel with that, if it wasn't already an established meta of why the hell aren't you doing this, is that they'd be like, yeah, they study readers, so we're doing
right,
it.
And that's clear. Like that's not something that at this point in the story is some great secret. That's what Suo's doing.
Right, exactly.
So, I would see it as the kind of thing of just because you know, or just because that's what's known, it doesn't mean that everyone can do it. What I'm bringing up is that at some point as an athlete, you stop training just your physical body.
Okay.
You are a god in human form when I'm trying to think of some equivalent like sports player that everybody knows. But basically, after a certain point, you're then fighting against time as you age, because you will lose your edge over time in that regard. And so you play within the bounds of the game and you play the meta of the game. You don't then train just your body anymore. You train against the actual meta of what's going on in the game, not just the rules, but like all that stuff. And so this to me is the example of the characters being introduced to the, oh shit, they broke the meta because they studied the meta, which is readers. Anybody who's been watching Suo for a period of time, which apparently has been for a while, that he's been number one, would know this to be the case.
Right.
And the people that would be gunning for him
would be people who have studied his
people that already
playstyle.
Well, not just studying his playstyle, know exactly what he's doing, and thus doing their own thing to beat it, which would be joining them.
And that's why one of the things that I'm really interested and curious about with this match that we get here, and the delving into the idea of knowing the reader and all of that stuff, is that Shinobu is watching this match and she's actually intently focused on the match now. And I would love to hear what her own internal thoughts are on the concept of studying readers, because we have established Suo and Shinobu as having very different play styles. And so if that's something that Shinobu has just determined, I don't really think it's that important, and so I don't really do it. I kick ass just fine anyways, or it's just the...
She said she can beat Suo at times.
Right, or the, I know he's doing that. I've tried doing that. He's better at studying readers than I am, and so when he's with certain readers, man, it's hard to play against that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's literally what she said, right? In the episode, was that against certain readers, she just cannot... She said it would be, he's a real pain, is what she said.
Right. Yeah. But whether that's because, she has determined, studying readers to not be worthwhile, or my ears just aren't that good, right? I'm fantastic in these other areas, but
yes, we don't know.
We don't know. And so I would love to get to know that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Very, very fun episode as far as seeing Chihaya have to deal with an injury, and then the idea that her coach has told her also, hey, lean into that.
Yeah.
That again to me feels also like a thing that just feels so alien to me from a sports athlete perspective here. Because again, this show has a lot of sports related stuff in it. And that Karuta is a sport.
Right.
It is not an art. It is a game. It is a sport here. And the idea that you would try to guilt trip your opponent,
right,
for injuring them, injuring you, it's like that feels very Japanese to me. That is not something that would work in the US.
That feels like the kind of thing where it's also working on her opponent, because her opponent has not actually been in a lot of tournaments. Right. And if she had, maybe she'd be like, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Either drop out so you can play in the individual tournament tomorrow, or get good,
Yeah.
suck it up. You know?
Refs, she's clearly injured. She shouldn't continue.
Yeah.
So can I get an automatic win, please? You know?
Right, exactly.
Maybe I'm just cold, but like,
Yeah,
we're here to win. Like, this is a game.
Yeah,
Like,
we are of a similar mind in that regard.
Like,
skill issue.
yeah,
you know,
skill issue. This is.
Seethe
This
mold,
isn't,
you know, like
right. This is not a power of friendship, you know, kind of world that we live in. You know?
It's the picture of the, you know, the two anthropomorphic hearts playing, you know, a game or whatever, and one's like, oh, I'm so excited to be able to spend time with this person, and the other one's their defeat will be bloody and righteous. And I get the feeling you would. By the time you get to this point in competitive play, the results of who's who would be overwhelmingly one of those hearts and not the other.
Yes. Now, this is the team tournament, so maybe there's also some other things at play there with regards to just the way in which they're more just doing this for the love of the sport. So maybe I need to calm down a little bit on the competitive side of things here. But also, no, thinking about it, and the more I say it out loud, I'm like, no.
I don't need some monetary reward to want to, poetically speaking,
at the game,
smash someone's face into the ground in a game. like
yeah, that's how you know you have a competitive edge to you. Like, some people don't have a competitive edge.
Right.
Those people should not be athletes. In my opinion, like you will end up facing a very rude world eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be skilled enough that you can get a certain amount past that.
Right.
But
and
eventually.
Yeah, and definitely if you're
all within the bounds of the rules and everything.
If you're wanting to hone your own skills and everything, absolutely don't use the tricks and everything as crutches, because then you're not actually learning the skills you need to learn, and then you won't go as far.
Yeah.
But that being said,
get competitive.
When rubbers meets road, when you know the cards are on the table, when you are in the tournament, right? Especially
try to win.
Yeah.
Fuck
the other person, like.
But yeah, we'll end the episode of that. All right,
and then shake hands afterwards and say good game.
Right.
You know.
But thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.